What's up, YouTube? Everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been to the channel yet, thank you for stopping by to watch. Today I wanted to go over my project car behind me. I did not make any videos during the progress of this car. I don't know, I kind of contemplated on not doing YouTube or just taking pictures for my own knowledge, post on Facebook, but I was laying in bed last night and I decided that I'm going to start making content on this car as well. Yeah, so this is my 1973 Chevrolet Camaro. It was an LT base model car, 350 automatic, and I purchased the car from a guy in Texas. He led me on to believe that the car had been mostly body worked and was in great condition, but I kind of come to the conclusion that the car was much further, or I should say much worse than he thought it was going to be, so he ended up backing out of the deal when he was going to restore it. I debated on not actually buying the car once I got there to look at it, but I decided, what the heck, it'd be an awesome project. I've always wanted to build a car from the ground up, so that's what this one's going to be. And it's kind of a hodgepodge of a couple passions of mine. The 70 to 73 Camaro is my favorite year body, or body style Camaro, specifically the split bumper front end with the marker lights, so it has 4 lights up front instead of 2 like the standard Camaro does. So I'm going to build all that front end and everything once we're done, but this is just an update video of where the car sits now and everything I've done so far. I'm going to stitch in pictures because I took a ton of pictures while I was doing the car, but I didn't really do much videoing. And yes, this is a Toyota engine. It is the iconic 2JZ. It's not a GTE. It was a little out of my budget, so I ended up getting the NA motor, having a machine, built the bottom end, built the head, all that good stuff. And I'll give a rundown specifically on what's done to it as we go along in this video. But yeah, it's been a passion of mine, and I just work on it on the side whenever I'm not working on customer cars or at my day job. So I'm gonna take y'all around the car. So like I said, it's a 1973 Camaro, and this engine is out of a Toyota IS300. I'll stitch in pictures and kind of do some voiceovers of all the body work that I've done. Man, this car was a rust bucket. When I first got it, I brought it in here. The first thing I did was address the cowls. The upper cowl had a little rot in it. It wasn't horrible, but the lower cowl was completely rotted out. You could see the floor and everything. So we got it in here, and a friend of mine, Clayton, he came in. We stripped out the upper cowl and the lower cowl. The wiring harness was a hack job, so I completely gutted the car, took all the wiring out of it and everything. The previous owner got the car from, he did the rear floor pan, and he did a section here, but it was not the greatest job. I ended up cutting most of it out, so I redid rear right floor pan, rear left floor pan. Came up here, did this whole new section up front here, new section up there. And then I put some ribbing on the bottom of the car, and you can see here, these are the Detroit Speed subframe connectors, there and there. I'll get under the car and show y'all. I had to cut the transmission tunnel because this was an auto car, and that is a 6-speed manual CD009 out of a Nissan 350Z. So it's kind of a hodgepodge. So move back up front here, did the cowls. Then these lower corners were rotted out, so fabbed up sheet metal, threw those in there. We move up here. All of this trim work all the way across the top was completely rotted out, so I cut it out, put some L channel, welded that in, put the trim tabs in there. Both A-pillars were pretty rotten. I got a kit that replaces, it comes in 3 sections: outer skin, inner skin, and then the actual structure. So just the outer skin was really rotted, so I cut up to where I needed to, grafted in the new one, and put a little paint on here. I'll end up having to body work it with Bondo and filler and all that later. Got the A-pillars done. I'm going to sheet off the firewall because I'm not going back with the factory HVAC or blower. I'm going to do a little cheap Amazon AC heat kit and use an electric compressor. That way I don't have to run the AC compressor off the car. I actually gutted this AC compressor off the 2J just so that I didn't have to buy the expensive bracket kit. Back to the metal work. Come back here. I have the drag pack on it right now. Got this for a steal on Facebook Marketplace. This is some more hack job the previous bodywork guy did. They put the rear skin on and it doesn't line up, like this body line doesn't match the door. I'm gonna have to work that. They didn't really paint or cover it very well, so you could see this is all rusting along here. And then I put this Bondo on here just to try to, for now, cover some holes because they didn't skin it very well. Sorry, the car is really dirty, but you can see where they skinned it. They didn't fully weld it all the way. They didn't Bondo it or fill it. This was a big hole that they just cut into it with a grinder. They had a couple holes up here I patched. The roof skin was salvageable. It just had a few pinholes here and there that I didn't have to reskin the full roof. Come back to the rear. I know it's a mess. I got a lot of junk back here. They did replace the floor pan. I just have a bunch of interior bits inside right now. It's kind of a placeholder. My shop's too small. I'll stitch in pictures in here. It's kind of dark, but I redid the rear frame rails on the car because the sections of them were rotten. You can see the new floor pan section. And while I was under there, I realized the leaf springs were kind of shot, the bushings were all shot. So I pulled the rear end out of it, pulled the leaf springs off, pulled all the bushings out, replaced that section of the frame rail, got it all painted, covered up, blended in, and then I put new poly bushings in the rear with a 2-inch lowering spring. It's a Pro Touring F-Bodies suspension. It's got anti-wheel hop technology and it lowers it 2 inches. Completely gutted the 10 bolt, cleaned it, painted it. Then I did a Detroit True Track, re-geared it for the CD009. All new bearings, all new seals, upgraded 1350 yoke U-joint on the front of the differential. I did the girdle for the 10 bolt. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well down here. Oh yeah. Got solid leaf spring bushings in there now that connect the axle to the leaf spring. Got rid of the old junk rubber. And then I did a disc brake conversion kit. Painted the calipers purple to match the engine and the front calipers. Also, it's really hard to see, I'll stitch in a picture, but you got Viking dual adjustable shocks in the rear. We'll move up to the front. Whenever I had the car in here to do all the metal work, I put it on this lift and I completely stripped the front end, sanded it down, painted everything after I did the subframe connectors, and then I got these really cheap upper and lower tubular control arms. I was just going to do ball joints and bushings and everything on the factory ones, but these control arms were really cheap. It was only like $100 more than just reed bushing and everything. So we'll see if they actually work. They're supposed to be able to have like a little more camber control by the way they're shaped. Then move in here, I got Crazy Carl's Corvette hubs for this car. So it actually, or the spindles I should say, they actually correct steering Ackerman with the length of this bar here to a more modern car. And they also allow you to run a Corvette modern bearing inside. So it has C5, C6, C7 bearings, and these are C5 Corvette 4-piston caliper, 14-inch rotors. Big old rotors. This is a 17-inch wheel. I painted those to match. So stopping shouldn't be an issue. I redid all the brake lines. There's stainless lines through the whole car with the dual discs. And then up here we have the Viking double adjustable coilovers, as well as the Pro Touring F-body. You see the Gen 2 garage. Big old sway bar. It's like an inch and an eighth, I believe. It's big. It's like 3 times the size of the factory one. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the suspension side. I've got a 7-inch dual diaphragm brake booster. The master's over there. I haven't put it on yet. You can see a little more. This corner was rotted out as well. See the subframe connectors. And then I have the wiring mocked up for now. I ended up getting a custom kit from wiringspecialties.com. And I have ECU Masters Black. That's going to be the engine management for this car. So we'll move up to the engine. And this engine had like 200 and some odd thousand miles. So I pulled it down to the bare block. And I brought the block to the machine shop. They bored it. I don't remember how much they bored it over. I think it was 15 over. Maybe 20 over. And I'll stitch some pictures in at the end of the video. So got the block back, they bored it, decked it, honed it, hot tanked it, and then also they cut the cylinder head just to resurface it and hot tanked it as well, because this engine had the most oil out of any motor I've ever seen in my life. I can't tell you how many hours I have just cleaning oil off of this thing. Every gasket, every seal, everything leaked because it was higher mileage. Ended up doing ACL bearings on the mains and rods. It's got Manley Turbo Tough H-beam rods with ARP 2000 hardwell, ARP main studs, factory crank, and CP pistons. I can't remember the compression ratio on them off the top of my head. it's got ARP head studs with OEM 2JZ GTE head gasket, and then it's got Brian Crower springs and retainers. I had the shimmed buckets. I'm gonna run those. If they give me issues, I'll pull them out and do shimless. And it's got Brian Crower Stage 3 Plus VVTi cams, which I believe they're 276 cams, so it should chop pretty hard. I got them for a good deal, and to be honest, I'm an LS guy. I just really wanted it to chop, and it should scream pretty high RPM. Then we got the eBay 2JZ manifold, so fuel injector clinic 1650s. It's a pretty sick billet. Drift motion oil fill cap. Actually looks like the 2JZ piston. New oil pump. It's got a rear sump pan off of the Supra. Factory alternator, ATI pulley. New tensioner. Brand new belt, obviously, all that good stuff. Brand new water pump. Running a SPA turbo cast stainless manifold. It's divided housing, and then got to run a 45 mil Turbo Smart wastegate. This is a Precision 6266. I wanted the 6466, but this one was on sale for a really good price, used locally, so I just scooped it up. Should make a little over 700 wheel on E85. Which is probably the limits of the transmission. It's a stock CD009, low miles, out of a pullout. And it's got a spec twin disc clutch with the Maverick Motorsports adapter plate. They don't make this kit anymore. I actually had to do some custom work to get the bushing in there and to get the throwout cylinder lined up right. So yeah, this thing should be pretty rowdy. I'm excited to say the least, but progress is going to be pretty slow. I'm on disability for hip surgery, so I haven't been able to work much overtime to buy new parts for the car. So yeah, that's an update, everybody. Thank y'all for stopping and watching, and I'll either stitch pictures of the progress in the end or break it up as I'm talking, just so it's not as mundane. Yeah, I got the custom motor mounts out of 1/4-inch plate. I fabbed those myself. And then it's got a S14 cross member that I just fabbed to the floor of the car. Also, I forgot to mention on the rear end, I also did 30 spline custom Molly axles from Quick Performance. So hopefully that 10 bolt will live. Usually they're pretty stout whenever you build them. So yeah, thank y'all for coming. I appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day.